All right, so let's talk about something that I think is important but never comes up, okay, on these lawn care channels, which is what kind of business is it that you're actually running? And I literally mean like just what do you do? Because a lot of guys, they'll just say, oh, I do lawn and landscaping. I run a lawn and landscape company. And it's like, what does that mean? There's so many things that could be, right? Like, does that mean you just mow lawns and maybe trim hedges, or are you doing patios? Are you doing retaining walls? I think that's a different league of landscaping, and in my opinion, the way that I have it broken up in my head is there's lawn maintenance, there's lawn installation, there's lawn improvements, and then there's landscape maintenance, landscape improvements, and landscape installation. So it's those three different degrees, right? I think it makes it simplest to describe to people, right? So for me, I do primarily lawn maintenance and landscape maintenance and a little bit of improvement work, right? So I mow on a weekly schedule, and if you got a patch of lawn that's dead or has never grown before, I can get in there and I can till it up, fix it up, bring in some soil and plant seed and fix it. I can make that improvement, right? Sod, I've dabbled in it, and I might do a little tiny sod job every once in a while, but I don't do sod. I don't do lawn installation, okay? Landscaping, I'll pull your weeds. I will trim the hedges, so that's maintenance, right? I will spray weed prevention. I will spray for weeds. That's maintenance. I will, plant some shrubs for you. That's an improvement. I will dig out and, cut the grass out and spray it and extend your flower bed, make a natural flower bed. I think that's an improvement. It kind of creeps into installation, but it's, in my brain, it's still just an improvement, right? So I wouldn't say that I do landscape installations. I'm not cutting out forest. I'm not cutting out or installing berms. I'm not putting in patios, and I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing full-on installation. I'll do improvements, and some of those improvements are quite large. A lot of people would look at it and probably consider it an installation, but I just kind of, if I'm not bringing in machinery and piles of dirt and really tilling and reshaping the land, I don't really fully consider that landscaping. So again, for me personally, I run a professional lawn and landscape maintenance company, and we can do some improvements, but the main thing I market is for that maintenance side of things, because I don't want people to think that when you call me, you're going to get, a new patio or something like that. I don't do those kinds of jobs. And I still have people. I had a job just this year, within the last couple of months. They added me on, and they're wondering why I didn't cut all these trees and stuff down for their cleanup. And I said, well, it's on a hill, and none of my mowers are going to cut through that. And if I go in with hand tools, chainsaws, and all that, just the amount of debris alone would like triple your cost. And you're getting into land clearing, which is another type of business, right? Another type of landscaping, if you will. And I said, that's a land clearing job. I'm a lawn maintenance guy. There's certain things that, yes, I can cut out a little thicker material and make it a mowable space, but I'm a lawn maintenance provider. There's limitations to the tools I have and the work that I do. So you need to make sure that your customers are aware, Because even as much as I try, people still don't really quite understand, like, because it's such a vague industry and people don't really define what they do. I feel like they get confused, you know, and they want you to, as the lawn guy, the lawn maintenance dude, they want you to clear a whole wood line. It's like, no, I don't really do that. Like, I can limit up a little bit and take the small stuff out, but I don't do tree removal. You know, like, I'm not a tree guy. Okay, I'm a lawn maintenance. I'm a landscape maintenance guy. I'm maintenance, not removal, not installation. Right? There's a big difference, and I'm curious if anyone else sort of has thought of this or runs into this issue where people have these expectations because the industry itself is so vague and widespread. So I think it's an important thing to consider in your marketing, and I wish more people would do it, because another big issue is that so many people do think they're going to be a jack of all trades, and they try to do land clearing, patios, porches, you know, every single thing under the sun. And it's like, well, you're not really a landscaper. Like, don't classify yourself as a landscaper if you're painting houses. You know, don't classify yourself as a landscaper if all you want to do is mow lawns. And don't classify yourself as a lawn care provider if you're, you know, regrading entire plots of a property and installing sod and landscapes and patios and features. You know, like, you're not a lawn care provider at that point. You're the next, you know, you're the next big step, you know. So I don't know. I think it's really important to start kind of looking at your business as what is it overall that you actually do. And if you do everything, like, are you just a handyman at that point? Like, does it go to a point where if you're, you know, cleaning out gutters, cleaning windows, painting the shutters, you know, fixing a light bulb, you know, mowing the lawn, doing the landscape, are you still calling yourself a lawn and landscape guy? Because I see a lot of people doing that kind of stuff here locally, and I'm like, dude, you're not, I don't know what you are. You're just a handyman, basically, at that point. Which, not to say just a handyman, but, you know, if you do too much, you know, I genuinely don't see how you do a super high-end job, right? Because those are the kind of people that you see them all the time. They're like they have like 25 jobs on the books for the week, right? And they're going to get them just go constantly. And then everything that they do is like falling apart within a week, or not really, you know, the paint on the shutters, right, is not really, you should have done 3 coats, but you only had time to do 1 because you got to go mow 4 yards now because you're also a lawn guy, right? And you got to go, you know, clear this guy's property because you're also a land clearing guy. And you don't have time to do 2 extra coats on the shutters, right? So, I don't know. I feel like people really need to hone in on something and do it as good as they can. And I don't know. I think it's something important that no one ever talks about. Tell me what you think. Appreciate it.